Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and today we'll be taking a look at a brand new system that Blizzard added with this expansion for you to level alts through the new expansion. Normally, the game has you play through the same zones, the same quest lines, the same storylines, and after a while it gets a bit repetitive. So Blizzard decided to add a new way for you to do some world quests and even start progress toward endgame content by acquiring anima as well as other rewards for your covenant, even letting you choose your covenant early. The system is called Threads of Fate, and it had a few alterations going through the beta. So in this video, I actually just want to talk about my experience with Thread of Fate because I was able to get a brand new level 60 besides my rogue with this system, talk about how long it takes and everything that is new. So the first thing you will need to do is every single character will have to go through the maw. I found myself kind of going through the maw fairly quickly, but doing this on 12 characters is going to get pretty repetitive after a while. So if you're someone who is going through the maw, I would either suggest getting all your tunes through the maw right now just to kind of rip the band-aid and get it over with, or just do it over time, revisiting the maw, but after a while it is going to get stale. Maybe in later patches Blizzard can add a way for us to skip the maw and just get enough experience that you would get at the end of the maw if this isn't your first rodeo. But if you somehow can stomach the maw a billion times, then after you're finished with the maw and you end up in Ouroboros, then you'll have the opportunity for your brand new characters you're trying to get up to max level in this expansion to have a different path to level. Instead of leveling with the story mode, you can level through Threads of Fate. When you zone into Ouroboros, an NPC is going to kind of stop time and then approach you and give you an option. Do you want to level through the story just like your main did, which has its own uses. One, it's very standardized, it has all the XP needed for you to get to max level, and also lets you try out all the different covenant abilities if you're not sure. But if you're someone like me who's done plenty of research and already knows which covenant kind of fits your character, whether by style, whether by ability, whether by necessity, maybe you want to be good in Mythic Plus, PvP or raids, you probably already know which you are gonna play in the end. So you can actually choose to start playing that covenant immediately. This quest and experience is going to be very different, but also similar. It's similar to the other expansions content because it has the world scaling. The world, instead of how we leveled our main characters, is now going to scale to you. And the world is going to open up even more. You're not going to have to do the main story at all. In fact, you'll get to do everything else besides the main storyline. So what is there to do when it comes to playing with Threads of Fate? How do you quest and how do you earn experience when you're not doing the main story? Well, it's a lot less of a handholdy experience than what Blizzard has done in previous expansions, so it leaves a lot of players kind of confused. What should I do next? What should I do first? They do give you a little bit of a breadcrumb by letting you choose which zone you want to quote-unquote complete first. It'll let you choose to go to Bastion, Revendreth, Maldraxxus, or Ardenweald, and let you do any activities inside of that zone until you fill up a bar, which then it'll reward you with a lot of experience as well as a bunch of gear, which will either be used for transmogs or as actual upgrades as your character grows in levels. While inside of the zones, you have a couple different options. First, there are side quests. So no main story quests are available, but side quests are up for grabs. And it may be as your main, you might have done everything in war mode and you had all this extra bonus XP and you kind of wanted to blaze to max level as soon as possible. Now you can go back and check out some of the side quests, some of the stories and some of the rewards, and maybe even some of the interesting or hilarious events. Quite a lot of them are very charming in Bastion in particular, and I enjoyed those quite greatly. You can also do bonus objectives, and there's a lot of those. They do take quite a bit of time though, but they reward quite a lot of XP. They also can reward you with gear, which can be great as you level your character and you need some pieces replaced here and there. They also can reward you gold as well as AP. You can also participate in world quests, which also can reward you. Same thing world quests can do, but now they also added extra experience in those as well. So you can just complete world quests and gain experience and even bonus experience if that is offered. Once you finish the zone, you can move on to the next zone, but you're not really stuck to one area. If you just want to log on the character and just do a couple of world quests here, a couple of world quests there, and just kind of fly all over the map, you totally can do that. Do a couple of world quests for an hour or two, log off and come back tomorrow and do some more world quests here and there. So it has a lot more freedom in terms of how you approach it. Another thing you can do is spam dungeons, which is something my guildies have been able to do. And when we are pulling massive groups with interesting class combos, with fire mages blasting with big AoE, and enhancement shaman that I can actually hold their own in dungeons, people sleeping on enhancement and the amount of damage it can do, you get through mobs very quickly in organized groups. Or you can even PvP. Battlegrounds, skirmishes, all of those can reward you experience, and now you have access to your Covenant abilities, so might as well start training with it and getting used to using it regularly. So there are a lot of different avenues for you to take when it comes to leveling your character through Threads of Fate. And Blizzard, this time around on the release compared to the beta and the alpha, have balanced the experience quite well in terms of the amount of XP gain you get. In the past, I would have completed all 3 zones and I wouldn't have had enough XP to even be at about half-ish level. But now if you were to finish all the zones without having to do extra side quests or anything, you will get majority of your levels, but there will be a couple other things you will want to do to kind of supplement the extra experience gain. So it's not going to be cut and dry like the quests, which can be slow in their own way. There's a lot of RP and exposition in this expansion, so that is going to take quite a bit of time. But if you're someone who just kind of wants to get onto the content, start farming that XP, grind dungeons, or whatever you want to do, then Threads of Fate offers you a different option. And then you're wondering to yourself, well, okay, so what are the differences between these experiences? Is one of them faster? Is one of them slower? Should you just stick to the story, or is Threads of Fate looking like a faster, more efficient option? And you know what? I didn't really time my run when it comes to leveling my shaman. When it comes to level Morog, I was just trying to get a max level as soon as possible, and the time flew by because not only was I enjoying the expansion, but also I'm trying to almost compete and have a race with myself. I'm not really stopping to enjoy the roses. But with my shaman, I was able to explore different areas and do world quests that I enjoyed and spam dungeons until I was sick of them, but I had a lot of different options in terms of how I leveled, so it definitely felt better in some regards. Was it faster? I wouldn't really say that right now Threads of Fate is that much faster, maybe a little bit faster than your everyday leveling. Maybe if you're running with a dungeon group and you're just spamming through dungeons and getting through them as quickly as we were, then yes, you are definitely going through them very quickly. But one advantage I would say that this has over the main story is replayability. I feel like running through the main story, I can maybe do it once, twice, 3 times, let's say if I'm not sure which Covenant I really want to play with. And listening to all these dialogues will be cool the first time around, and watching the cinematics will be great a couple times, but eventually the novelty will wear off. So if you want yourself a slightly different experience that has a lot more replayability to it, I think Threads of Fate is this method. It's also a great method for someone who isn't looking to grind their character all in one sitting, as world quests rotate regularly, and you might even be able to take advantage of certain world quests and the amount of XP it offers to spend the least amount of time on a character, but gain the most amount of XP out of it, which goes forward towards efficiently leveling alts. And I'm very interested to see what other methods people might find in the future in order to maximize the efficiency or even reduce the amount of time it takes for you to go from level 50 all the way to max level of 60 in Shadowlands. But this system is awesome, and it was great because now I have a level 60 shaman, which is my first alt character, and I have a couple more alts to go as I do play one of every class. So that's going to be very interesting to go through. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about Threads of Fate. Have you got to try it, and do you prefer it over the same old story stuff that you would normally have to go through on your alts? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, guys, and I'll see all of you in another video.